Yeah, got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
How's it going, Chris?
Everything's good, man.
Good? Good.
I'm a little
Good,
tired today, but I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm tired too for some odd reason. Man.
I didn't sleep, so
Yeah.
I got about an hour and a half.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I would say how the other Chris doing, but he ain't here. He asked me if we was gonna film. I said, I think we got a podcast. I said, I think. I didn't tell him we had one.
He was looking for a reason not to be here.
Anyway, Suge Knight, he go on what? Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan.
He talking about Diddy, huh? He in jail, right?
Oh yeah. This
How
is
the hell he getting interviews in jail?
because he usually. You can pick and choose what you believe in the stories that he says.
Right, right.
Because the thing with Suge Knight is he sometimes meshes lies and truth together, and people don't know how to decipher the things or whatever. But
he talking about Diddy, right?
he talking about Diddy.
When is he supposed to get out? Shoot.
Never, I guess. I don't
think he ever getting out.
I don't know.
I never understood these people that's in the music industry. Y'all making all this money, but y'all constantly getting locked up.
Well, a lot of them come from street culture, like especially.
It catches up. They start making the money. He's, oh man, you coming with me with that now? That happened in '92.
Well, a lot of what you just said is true.
Yeah.
A lot of that, because a lot of them come from street culture, and most of these earlier rap labels were funded by kingpins, drug money, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's an extortion thing that happens once you start making money. They like, hey, did you forget about me?
Like
so
the mafia. Where's my 10%?
Yeah, you have to insulate yourself and do things to kind of
Okay.
protect your assets and stuff.
That's
Blah, 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 blah,
All
blah.
right, let's see what this dude had to say on Piers Morgan about Diddy.
I hear you. Let me ask you directly now just about the Diddy trial, because you said that you believe he should definitely walk, which is pretty extraordinary given what you've just been telling me about.
I've said that.
Diddy's possible involvement in trying to kill you. But
I said that too, but the reason I said it is because, and I think people are misinterpreting. Is it a RICO or is it just racketeering? Because if RICO is racketeering is part of a RICO, but it doesn't mean that there's a RICO case. So if there's a RICO case, there has to be multiple people.
Conspiracies.
It's like an enterprise type thing. So you can't be, even Dave Chappelle got a joke about it, talking about he in a RICO by himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Got a whole joke. But it's like, you can't be in a RICO case by yourself. And that's basically what he's saying here. He's basically saying, like, that's why he thinks he's going to get off, because the people, I'm just going to paraphrase, and then he'll, whatever. The people that are involved that would get swept up in the RICO aren't going to allow them to get, they're not going to allow themselves to get swept up into that.
Right.
So something would happen before that point. So that's why he thinks he's going to get off.
You always think racketeering, RICO charges is just an illegal enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, and it's multi-state, federal.
Right.
Multiple people. Yeah. Let's see what Suge got to say.
you think he should walk from this case?
Well, number one is that this. To say he's part of racketeering and make a case, they would have to put other executives in custody also, which they would never do. It's a guy named Jimmy Iovine. I consider him family. Been known him forever. Jimmy Iovine used to be a second engineer, and then he started working for Interscope, and I made that company. I built that company, me personally. Plus, he beat up a girl named Capricorn. Beat the shit out of her. Jimmy Iovine, one of Puffy guys, Puffy, approached Capricorn. And Jimmy told Capricorn, you're going to take this money and you're going to shut your mouth and leave it alone. And I'm going to give you $1 million. Puffy didn't give Capricorn $1 million. Jimmy Iovine gave Capricorn a check from Interscope. And Universal should be ashamed of their fucking self that this big old public Detroit company will allow Interscope to give this girl $1 million check.
And this woman, just to be clear, Capricorn Clark, she's actually been giving evidence in the case. She was your former assistant, and she...
No, she wasn't my assistant, but she did hang around death row. She was Puffy's assistant. After she hung around death row. But what I'm trying to say is...
She worked for death row.
Jimmy gave her that $1 million check. She got mad because she thought that's a settlement check, and a settlement check, you don't want to take taxes out of it. So when they told her she had to pay taxes on it, she'd get pissed. But I feel bad for Capricorn, not because she's just lying, but I feel bad for Capricorn on the simple fact she went through a lot But the other part about all this, if you're not going to say nothing to Jimmy and Interscope for doing something illegal, why would you just put Puffy in prison?
Right.
The other thing is that, do Puffy do weird stuff? If Puffy got on the stand and told the truth, I know he'll walk. If he got on the stand and say, look, I'm gay and straight. I mess with guys. I mess with women. I do it all. Puffy not guilty for the things he did to these people. He's guilty for being a cold, freaky man that want freaky things done to him. In the Cassie situation, they could not say he was having sex with the man also, because that'll make him like it's an orgy. It won't be like sex trafficking. It won't be like forcing stuff to do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, there's no way Puffy should go to prison for the rest of his life. He should have. I think that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Suge, you talked about Capricorn Clark, that he beat her very badly. He beat Cassie Ventura very badly. He was clearly very violent towards women. That's not a nice man, somebody who does that, clearly. But what you're saying is you don't...
My point is this, but I let me cut you off, but it's like this. I'm not saying Puffy not guilty on majority stuff. He should go to... he done, right? Because even if he went to prison, it'd probably be a better thing. He'd probably be more happy in prison in the streets, because at least in prison he can get all baby all he wants. He can have all the men he wants, anyway, anyhow, and all day and all night. But what I'm trying to say is that,
how's he keeping a straight face?
I don't know. He ain't got no sense
but I know they're not gonna let Puffy go to prison. You know Puffy not gonna go to prison. They been knew that Puffy was beating these women. They been knew what Puffy was doing with these men. They been knew. I told the people before that in Hollywood, and by the way, they never tried it with me. In Hollywood, we go out there with Andre Young, we go out there with Puffy, we go out with any of these people that used to be in that building. They go talk to Jimmy and all these other guys. They said Russell Simmons, Andre Rail, they had the thing where they take a hard-boiled egg, and it sounds nasty, but if the egg can go in these guys' rectum and it don't bust, they think they're doing a great job. Wow. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see Puffy and another actor. The guy was married to Katy Perry. After I said this, people start finding pictures of these guys holding up the hard-boiled egg. Only thing I'm saying is, the bottom line is this. That's because Suge Knight don't wear a shiny suit and dance in the videos.
That's, what's his face?
I'm in prison illegally. I'm kidnapped. If it was anyone else, they'd give me a warrant and I'd be free. But since that is the other way around, they can get Puffy telling people they want to kill me. They can say they come in with guns to kill me. They can say they come to do this. They can have a people who shot me in One Oak do songs about shooting me. If you look at those people, who is those people in bed with? That's the question. It comes back to Puffy. If the FBI can tell me that they trying to kill me, and authorities can say they trying to kill me, and I've been shot different occasions, and the very first time that they try to kill me, and I get away, and somebody happens to die, and I get to go to prison? When you really look at it, Puffy did have sex with too many higher-up people in the industry. And I'm not talking about women. They get convicted.
Man.
So that's what he's basically saying. He's saying he knows, and like there's too much wrapped up in that case for all of that information to come out, and they're not going to allow that to happen or whatever.
Right.
So
everybody always knew Puffy was a nefarious individual.
Right.
But
deviant.
Yeah.
Sexually. Yeah.
They don't have a case trafficking, but they're going to drag his reputation through the mud.
Exactly.
He beats women.
Exactly.
And they think it's going to shame and ruin him because he's bi.
I think there's a chance he gets off. They're just ruining his reputation during this whole court case to where he ain't going to be able, he ain't going to work in the industry no more in a capacity where he's front facing. Maybe he'll do stuff like, you know.
Back in the scenes.
Yeah, but.
That egg story is crazy.
That's nuts. I thought y'all would enjoy that.
And then you'd take a picture holding up the egg, and who's holding the egg?
Yeah, it's so...
He just got indicted. Well, he got some charges brought in the United Kingdom for, forcing himself on women.
Yeah, he's a big-time conservative now.
Yeah, he's a big-time.
Well, there's a lot of deviant things that go on in the industry, in just entertainment in general.
Maybe he had Nothing to do with that stuff though. The egg. Come on, he's taking a picture. Maybe it's another story behind it. I don't think so. What other story could be behind that egg?
Why would you be holding the egg in that picture like that?
That's crazy. You can stick an egg up your rectum and it doesn't pop. You know how open you got to be? You got logs being shoved inside of you. I mean, you're wide open. You know how delicate an egg is?
Yeah.
Just shove it up your rectum and it don't pop. It's
Yeah.
that's crazy. You gaped open 24 hours. It's like this.
Hold up.
Being serious for a second, like I do believe that people like Jimmy Iovine, that guy, that he's not going to jail.
Yeah, what's his last name?
Iovine.
What's that?
Is that
I don't know.
Jewish?
I don't know.
It sounds.
It might be Middle Eastern or something.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's not going to jail. Because when Diddy was on his like little rampant drug run between like, I would say 2019 and 2022, 21, like he pissed off a lot of people in that period of time. A lot of people, pushing themselves away from him. So
Yeah.
and then in 2023, that's when that tape came out, right?
Yeah.
And then when the Cassie tape came out. So I guess that had a lot to do with something. He started this record company called Love, and he was getting sober, and he was starting to like kind of turn the corner and stuff like that. But I don't know.
I think he's got a hatred for women.
I'm trying to remember. I was watching a documentary, and his dad was in the streets, and his mom was really tough. Like, I can't remember what I was watching where they were talking about that, but like, I don't want to say he was abused, but he's always been taught to like be aggressive. If that makes sense.
The things I see him doing at Cassie, I was like, man, I would never do that to a woman.
No.
I could walk in on my girl and she's just sucking somebody off. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's just something, you got to be a special type of individual if you're a man to beat on a woman.
To do something that to be that yeah.
That's why I think he despises women, because even, remember the escort that they had come in? The things he was having the escort do while he watched?
Yeah.
I think he just looked at women as like property. Toys.
Yeah. Something to play with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull you out the closet when I need you, Yeah.
You come out of the closet now.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Don't ever do that again, but you can come out.
That's what, let me not go there. That's what R. Kelly was doing. If you watch that dog, he was locking them up in the room and stuff like that, sliding plates under the door and all.
That is crazy.
Slide me a hot plate up under the door.
He was straight doing a COVID treatment.
Like what?
He was quarantining these people, sitting plates up under the doors.
And I'm laughing, like people, like I'm not laughing because the abuse is not funny, but the visual representation of a bunch of women being locked up and you just sliding waffles under the door, like that is crazy. That's insane.
Man, that was a damn good show.
He said he beat the shit out of, what was it, Capricorn.
He said, man, he beat her. I mean, he beat the shit out of Capricorn.